You know that feeling, right? You're staring at another software subscription hitting your bank account, and you just think there has to be a better way to get my work done. The hunt for that perfect, affordable office suite, yeah, we've all been on that quest.
I mean, those monthly or yearly fees for a word processor and some spreadsheets, they really add up. It's a huge frustration, especially when all you want are some solid tools that just work, without costing a fortune.
Well, what if I told you there's an alternative out there? It's called WPS Office, and it's not some small indie app. We're talking about a platform with over 500 million active users. It's a huge player, positioning itself as the powerful, free alternative to the big names we all know. So let's get into it and see what the real story is.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at what makes WPS Office such a contender. Then we'll dive into its frankly incredible AI features. But we also have to investigate the serious allegations of censorship and some major security red flags. And finally, we'll lay out the big trade-off you have to consider.
Okay, first things first. What is WPS Office? Well, at its core, it's an all-in-one office suite made by a Chinese developer named Kingsoft. And the first thing you'll notice is that its interface looks and feels a lot like Microsoft Office. And that's by design. It makes it super easy for people to make the switch.
So why is it so incredibly popular? Well, the number one reason? The main version is totally free. And it's not stripped down either. You get the whole shebang. Documents, spreadsheets, presentations, even a really good PDF editor, all in one single app. Plus, it works great with Microsoft files, and you can get it on basically any device you own.
But here's where WPS Office is really trying to change the game. It's built-in AI. And I'm not talking about a fancy spell checker. No, this is a whole suite of advanced, cutting-edge tools that are meant to completely supercharge how you work.
So, in their word processor, WPS Docs, the AI can do some pretty amazing stuff. There's a feature called Smart Create that can draft a whole report or an outline just from a simple prompt. It can also read a huge document and give you the key takeaways, or even translate text right there inside your file, side by side. And for presentations, it gets even wilder. The AI in WPS slides can generate an entire professional-looking slideshow from just one command. We're talking outlines, images, formatting, the works. Or you can just feed it a long document, and the AI will actually read it and pull out the important stuff to build the slides for you.
This might be one of the most powerful features. You can literally have a conversation with your PDF files. Imagine asking a dense 100-page research paper to summarize itself, or telling it to find a specific clause in a contract. The AI gives you the answer and even tells you which page it found it on. That is some seriously powerful tech.
So, it's free, it's powerful, it's packed with mind-blowing AI. It honestly sounds a little too good to be true, doesn't it? And for a lot of people, that's exactly the problem. This comment from a user on Reddit kind of sums up the feeling that always seems to pop up around WPS Office, a fundamental lack of trust. So, let's talk about why.
And this brings us to the really serious stuff. Accusations of censorship and worries about surveillance. And look, these aren't just vague fears. They come from a very specific, very public, and very troubling incident.
The whole controversy just exploded when a novelist in China came forward with a shocking story. He said that a manuscript he was working on, a massive draft of over 1 million words, was suddenly locked by the WPS software. He couldn't open it, he couldn't edit it. All he got was a message saying the file had content that was against the regulations.
Okay, now this is the absolute heart of the matter, and the distinction here is critical. The author was adamant that it was the local file, the one saved on his own computer, that was locked. That would mean the software is scanning and controlling your private, offline documents. WPS, for their part, completely denied this. Their official story is that they only banned a shared link to an online document, which they say they have to do under Chinese law. That massive disagreement has left a real cloud of suspicion hanging over the company.
And it's not just about privacy or censorship. There are also some hard technical security problems to think about. This isn't about what the company might be doing, it's about what hackers have actually done. So what's this number? 9.3 out of 10. That is the official severity score for a vulnerability that was recently found in WPS Office. Now, in the cybersecurity world, anything above a 9.0 is considered critical. It's about as bad as it gets.
So what was this vulnerability? In simple terms, it was a bug that let attackers trick the software. By taking advantage of it, hackers could install a secret backdoor on a user's computer, giving them remote control.
and then drop in a brand new piece of malware that researchers are calling spyglaze.
And the timeline here really tells the story. We know that hackers were already using this flaw out in the wild back in February. The developer Kingsoft put out a patch in March, but according to a cybersecurity firm, that patch didn't actually fix the whole problem. A complete fix didn't come out until May. That means some users were left vulnerable for months.
So, after all of that, it all comes down to this one fundamental trade-off. When you think about using WPS Office, you are balancing its undeniable benefits against some really significant risks.
Let's break it down. On one side, you've got the promise, a free suite with game-changing AI tools that's highly compatible and works everywhere. But on the other side, you've got the peril. Very real privacy concerns about content monitoring, proven security holes that have been exploited by hackers, questions about data sharing given its Chinese ownership, and a bunch of user complaints about ads and aggressive cloud syncing. At the